Thank you so much for taking the time to be here today. I really appreciate it. So I was asked by Tim to talk to you guys about workplace safety and teamwork and how they go hand in hand with one another. I'm going to start out with a little funny video clip. So we'll go ahead and start that. Okay, so that little video clip always makes me laugh. So I want to ask you, how is your safety team doing? I call it a safety team because safety takes teamwork. So is it good, bad, mediocre, needs improvement? What do you guys think? Hopefully, I can give you some information today to help your safety team become stronger. In a safe workplace, there are lots of different teams working together. There's the employer who teams up with the managers and the supervisors. There are employees teaming up with other coworkers to protect one another. There may be a safety committee working as a team to identify and correct hazards, like OSHA, for example. And then, if you're doing it right, there's the one big workforce team composed of all those other teams working together to prevent accidents and injuries and illness across your entire workplace. So if you think back to that little video clip that we just watched, you can see all the different teams that are working together. So for example, the monster who had, the sock on his back, his partner is the one who yelled 2319, we got a 2319. And then the manager monster, he's the one who ran and pushed the button. And then of course the CDA who came down and worked together to kind of contain the disaster. So I showed you that little video clip just to kind of give you an idea of what I mean when I say safety team. So workplace safety isn't a one-person job. It takes teamwork. So if you feel like your company is lacking in any of these different safety teams, the way that you can fix that is by keeping teamwork alive. And that may sound corny or cliche, but really, if your employees are working with you and making an effort to keep everybody else safe, including themselves, then you're going to be more successful, period. So to keep teamwork alive and well in your workplace, consider these fundamentals. So first of all, you got to make safety a priority. Talk about it every day and hold weekly safety meetings to discuss new information, problems, and solutions. And if safety isn't a priority in your company, then you won't be able to perform effectively, and you won't be able to serve your customers if your workplace isn't safe and if it's hazardous. All right, so second, you got to keep your workforce informed. Make sure that all of the employees are up to date on any changes in policies, procedures, and materials, hazards, and so on. Ignorance is a dangerous enemy of safety, so keeping your workforce in the loop and informed is crucial, and it's the employer's job to stay up to date on new policies and new laws by OSHA. Those are different depending on your workplace and what your company does and stuff like that. But if the employees are kept in the dark, then employers can't expect anything from them. Doesn't make sense. It's not fair. Okay, so you got to provide excellent training to employees. Be patient with them and make every effort you can to be a great teacher. Do demonstrations with the employees, discuss whatever needs clarification, and practice and review with them. It's very, very important. Have drills with them maybe, or you can build your employee skills by doing these things and transferring what you know to them. All of these things are going to help to form tight-knit habits. Selecting the right equipment is a huge part of workplace safety. This includes both equipment such as tools and proper work attire, as well as machinery. Make sure that employees know how to operate the equipment and machinery correctly, and then follow up to make sure that they do. So employers and employees, they need to be certified and licensed to operate certain machines, such as like forklifts. So it's important to make sure of that, because if employees are using machinery and different equipment without a license and they're not certified, then those employees and the employer could face some hefty fines, both of them, if OSHA found out. You really need to emphasize employee participation. Get employees involved in recognizing hazards and help them become really good problem solvers and help them become good decision makers. Everybody has something to contribute to a safer workplace, and so really encourage them to participate and be part of the team. And another huge one is to encourage suggestions. Just because you have employees doesn't mean that you know it all and they're just there for you to tell them what to do. Employees know a lot about their jobs, and if you've trained them well, then they should know a lot about safety too. So listen to their ideas for making the workplace safer, and the more input that is given, the safer your workplace will be and the better off everyone will be. So lastly, reinforce safe behavior. Give lots of positive feedback to your employees for safe performance, and praise them and give lots of reassurance. It's also important to use feedback given to you by employees to correct unsafe behavior and then redirect risk-taking as well. And if you can accomplish all of these fundamentals of teamwork, then you'll have yourself a successful and effective team. All teams share certain essential characteristics that make them effective. And whether it's a sports team or a school team or whatever, every successful and effective team share these 5 characteristics, which are focus, goals, involvement, cooperation, and communication. And I just want to expand on each of these just for a little bit. So number 1, focus. Effective teams are focused on the same safety mission. That's to avoid hazards and making sure that you're working safely and preventing accidents. Also, taking workplace safety seriously is a huge part of being focused. It's not something to take lightly or just mess around with. The second characteristic is goals. And effective teams understand the safety goals that have been set by everyone in the company, and they commit to achieving them. Everybody on the team needs to work together toward the same goals, and you can achieve them and achieve success by preventing injuries and harm. The third characteristic is involvement. Kind of goes hand in hand with participation a little bit. When teams are successful, it's because employees all over the workplace are involved. Being involved means practicing safety every day and taking precautions, practicing what you know, and helping each other out. 4 is cooperation, and members of an effective team cooperate with one another, and they depend on each other to detect hazards, follow safety procedures, and prevent accidents. So offering support and being willing to do what's necessary to keep your workplace safe is a huge part of cooperation. And last but not least, maybe the very most important one, is communication. So what do you think workplace communication entails? Because team members are interdependent, meaning that they rely on one another, they must constantly be communicating. So what might you communicate to your coworkers to help your workplace safer? Maybe sharing information, giving warnings, expressing concerns, asking for help. These are all great examples of communicating. So maybe you have some possible objections. Maybe you think that, or a waste of time. I mean, what are they? Bottom line is that safety has got to be your number one priority. This may seem repetitive, this may seem boring or dull, but it really is so crucial, because without a safe workplace, you don't have anything. There's no trust, there's no organization, and without taking proper precautions, then you're going to have accidents, you're going to have possible lawsuits, possible fines, dealing with OSHA, etc. And you don't want any of that. So how can you serve your customers if you're not practicing safely or practicing safety? If you are hurt, you can't help your customers and you can't serve them. Your company cannot do what your company is supposed to do. So think of it like this. Here's a little example. Have you ever been on an airplane? Yes? No? Okay. Well, one of the things they tell you is that in case of an emergency, if your oxygen mask comes down, then you're supposed to put your own oxygen mask on first, and then you help to put it on the person sitting next to you. This is because if you don't get yours on, then you're definitely not going to be able to help the person next to you. You've got to make sure yourself is safe, first and foremost, and then you can continue to helping other people. So think of it like that. Maybe that helps you to get on board a little bit more. It's better to just take everyday precautions and ensure safety in your company to avoid all of that. So what's your end goal? What is it that you're hoping that your safety team will achieve? I can tell you whatever it is, you can achieve it by improving overall workplace safety, adopting new habits, and practice, practice, practice. I hope that you feel like you've learned a little bit more about workplace safety and teamwork, and hopefully you'll take the things that I've talked about today and incorporate them into your company to help make it even more successful. I'm a firm believer in teamwork, and as cliche as that may sound, I really do believe that you can accomplish anything if you set your minds to it and if you work together. And again, I just want to thank you guys all so much, and I hope that you all enjoy the rest of your day.